So you've got a number of things that can interfere with your peripheral vision. So you've actually got, if you the frame itself, depending on how it wraps, but even just the size, different prescriptions impact on that, on the change from your vision behind the lens to your vision outside the lens. And so for some people, their prescription actually, they lose a little bit of visual field, a bit like a very mild version of losing your visual field when you look through binoculars. And that's an extreme example, but there is a slight little bit of field loss that you need to compensate for with the head movement. So some prescriptions are affected more than others. So, if you drive a lot, then, having a frame that's fairly big can certainly help maintain that peripheral vision. If you're sensitive to the distortion and progressive, then go for something that's a bit more all-round, or even a driving lens where that peripheral distortion is a little bit lower. And then the ultimate is contact lenses, because there is no boundaries. The other thing I like, I'm a contact lens wearer myself. The other thing I love about contact lenses is that the best part of the lens is always right in front of your eye, because the lens moves with your eye. You're always looking through the optic, the best optics of that lens can provide. So you've just got to watch the blinking and the dry eye, and making sure the fan's not on your face. So it brings up those sort of things you need to pay attention to.
All right. Well, let's talk about a special kind of contact lens, which is Ortho-K lenses, which are actually like lenses that you put in your eye at night. So throughout the day, you don't need any kind of eyewear assistance. So are there any sort of, things that people should be aware of if they are Ortho-K users when it comes to driving?
And look, and for a long time, so Ortho-K started as a device or an application that we used to help you to have good sight during the day without needing to use glasses, without needing to use contact lenses during the day. And it provides all the same benefits of laser surgery. So the only difference between that, obviously it's not surgical, but and you do have to maintain using this retainer lens every night to maintain that sort of effect. The big question mark was, well, if you've gone from being illegal to drive without correction, so if you are not wearing your glasses and your contact lenses and you don't meet the legal driving standards, then when you drive, you have to make sure that you've got the glasses on or contact lenses in, and you have to have, at least I'm in Queensland, we have to have an S on our license to say that we need a correction while we're driving. If you get Ortho-K, then you meet the legal driving standards, but only by virtue of having worn the lens.
Right.
So it's a bit of a tricky sort of situation. What happens if you don't wear the lens? Then you're no longer legal. What should be on the license? And what it came down to from a policing point of view, from my experience, was my patients were asked, do you need the device while you're driving? Right? Do you need the lens to be on your eye while you're driving in order to have clear vision? The answer is no. And so it's taken some time, but the Australian Roads Authority has actually made a statement specifically around Ortho-K. And it puts the onus on the driver to make sure that if they've not worn their lenses, that they have a backup prescription, either in glasses or soft daytime contact lenses, that restores them back to legal standards.
Right.
And so, I've actually said to patients, you need to go get your S removed off your license, because the police officer who pulls you over, basically it's a fairly binary decision for them. Do you need contact lenses in or glasses on or not? And then the rest becomes a honesty and sort of system of, puts the onus back on you to do the right thing.
And of course, with Ortho-K, if you stop wearing them for a couple of nights, your eyes will sort of revert to their natural state.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone's a bit different. No, I have a couple of patients who could probably go 2 or 3 days, still be within the legal limits. I have others that after the very first night, they'll drop below the legal driving standards, because we're treating such a wide variety of prescriptions. Everyone's eye responds a little differently to Ortho-K, so which is why it's such a custom-made kind of thing that we do. But yeah, everyone's a bit different. And if it's a question for somebody, like I have patients who just wear their won't drive if they've not worn their lenses. I have others who rarely ever miss a night, so it's just not something that comes up as a question for them. Although you would argue, look, if you're in an emergency, you need to know. So we will often do a trial of not wearing the lenses for a day or two and seeing where their vision lands, so that we've got a record of what their vision's like, and then, if necessary, a plan to have some basic pair of glasses or backup contact lenses.
All right.